The Random Jottings of Donald J. in Nelson in Pendle, Lancashire. Gawthorpe Hall is an Elizabethan mansion located on the banks of the Calder River, halfway between Burnley and Padiham in Lancashire, England. Built between 1600 and 1605 by the Reverend Lawrence Shuttleworth, it is considered one of the most perfectly preserved old mansions in England. The Shuttleworth family has been connected with the Gawthorpe estate since the 14th century, and their influence and wealth continued to increase during the next 2 centuries. Richard Shuttleworth, born in 1587, became Sheriff of Lancashire in 1618 and later entered Parliament as member for Preston in 1641. His eldest son, also named Richard, was elected to the same Parliament as member for Clitheroe. On the outbreak of the Civil War, they became associated with the Parliamentary forces hostile to the king, and the elder Richard was made colonel in the forces of Oliver Cromwell. 5 of his sons also served with the Parliamentary side, 2 of them dying before the struggle was over. In February 1842, Janet Shuttleworth married James Phillips Kay, who assumed the name and arms of Shuttleworth in addition to his own. The family motto of the Shuttleworths was, "Prudence and Justice," while the motto of the Kay family was, "Kind relations once known keep." In 1850 James was made a baronet, no doubt for his work in the field of education, and education was to remain his prime interest. During the life of Sir James and Lady Kay Shuttleworth at Gawthorpe, Charlotte Brontë visited the hall on 2 occasions, and it was shortly after her second visit there that she died. On this occasion, in 1855, she and her husband, the Reverend Arthur Bell Nichols, had visited the hall for the purpose of being interviewed in connection with the offer of a post at the church at Padiham, which Mr. Nichols was obliged to decline. The couch on which the couple sat during their interview at Gawthorpe is still there. It was also the Shuttleworths who contrived the meeting of Charlotte and Mrs. Gaskell, another famous author of the day, a friendship that was to last until Charlotte's death. Gawthorpe Hall underwent structural alterations in 1850, with Sir James Barry commissioned to undertake the changes and rearrangements of some of the rooms. The estate passed to their eldest son, Uttard, on the death of Lady Shuttleworth in 1872. Uttard was created a baron in 1902 and thereafter was known simply as Lord Shuttleworth. The advent of World War I brought the family tragic loss in the death of both sons, Lawrence and Edward, and this was followed by the deaths in World War II of 2 more male members in Richard and Ronald. Their cousin Charles became the 4th Lord Shuttleworth, and he, too, was badly wounded in the Western Desert, and now lives at Lech Hall, near Kirkby Lonsdale. Life at the end of the 19th century and the early 20th century was a colourful and interesting period at Gawthorpe Hall. The Shuttleworths were generous entertainers and opened the grounds of Gawthorpe to the public at weekends before the advent of Hill Park. Garden fêtes were held to celebrate the coming of age of the Shuttleworth children, and these were great and colourful occasions for the youngsters of the district, when each received a souvenir gift, and when the members of the family mixed easily and readily with the visitors. By Donald J.